Rakim Mayers, case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury of the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of
Man, Asaprocky just caught a huge break. He is going home to his family and the jury. 3 hours, 53 minutes, and 30 seconds for them to come back with a unanimous decision. Not on one, not on two, but on all 3 counts. Not guilty. Man. If you're new, make sure y'all hit that notification bell, that like, share, comment, and subscribe. Grab a seat. We finna dig deep. So after 2 weeks of testimony, legal battles, and intense courtroom drama, the jury in Asaprocky's felony assault trial finally reached their verdict, not guilty on all charges. Now this trial was quick, quiet, but it definitely had the internet buzzing. A friendship turned rivalry, a shooting accusation, and a rap star on trial. Now, the defendant and the prosecution painted Asaprocky as reckless, a man who let a personal dispute turn into violence. But the defense pushed a whole different narrative, claiming that A$AP Relli was actually the aggressor. But the defense argued that this could have been possibly self-defense or even a possible prop gun. Better yet, was there even a shot that was actually even fired? But was it enough to actually convince the jury beyond a reasonable doubt? Let's dig.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
On both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have the verdict forms with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, would you give those to Deputy Bennett?
Yeah, as you see, reality is setting in. See, it's not fun and games any longer. The courtroom drama, the back and forth between the attorneys and the prosecutor, the defense, that was all good. But here, man, he doing what he's supposed to do. Drop your head and send a prayer. Imagine this, the pressure on his shoulders, the weight of being judged for something that may or may not have even happened. But your fate, your freedom, your life is actually in the hands of a jury. 12 people that you never met before, but all they have is the evidence that was being presented before them. The authority of them to take you away from your family. You see why his head down now? Man, let that sink in. Let's dig.
All right, what we're going to do, folks, is Deputy Bennett is going to give the verdict forms to juror number 1. Juror number 1, I want you to look at the verdict forms, and I'm going to want to know whether these verdict forms reflect your true and correct verdicts. Juror 2, I'd like you to look over her shoulder so you can review the verdict forms. And I want to know from you whether these are your true and correct verdicts. Once I've heard from both of you, give the verdict forms to juror number 3. Juror 3, look at the verdict forms. Juror 4, look over her shoulder. So ultimately, I'm going to want to hear from all 12 of you whether these verdict forms reflect your individual true and correct verdicts. Everybody understand? All right. Deputy Bennett, these two different ones. Juror number 1, are those your true and correct verdicts? Juror number 2?
Yes.
Juror 3 and 4?
Yes. Yes.
Juror 5 and 6? Juror 5, are those your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror 6?
Yes.
All right, let's get the verdict forms to Juror 7. Juror 8, look over her shoulder. Juror number 7, those are your true and correct verdicts? Juror 7?
Yes.
Juror 8?
Yes.
9 and 10? Juror 9?
yes.
Juror 10?
Yes.
11 and 12. Juror 11?
Yes.
Juror 12?
Yes.
All right, all jurors have stated that the verdict forms reflect their individual true and correct verdicts. Now let's read this.
Yes, Your Honor. The Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Rakim Mayers, case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of the
You can clearly see just off his breathing, his body language, that this actual decision, this verdict is actually bothering him. But to see him run and jump in the arms of his woman, his mom, right there in front of the court, beautiful moment. Now the jury, 3 hours and 53 minutes. That's all it took for them to come back with this actual verdict, not guilty. Now, for a case this serious to be deliberated that fast, 3 hours and 53 minutes, that's fast. Matter of fact, maybe too fast. Usually a quick verdict can only mean one or two things. The evidence presented by the state was not overwhelmingly clear, or just too many flaws and holes in the actual state's narrative. Did the prosecution actually prove anything with this actual case? Not to mention, you went from 28 years down to 8. Man, let's dig.
Rakim Mayers, case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of the
Not against the audience. Or this is not against the audience.
Hold it down, hold it down. The verdict has to be read on count.
Yes, sir. Repeat again. We, the jury, above entitled actions, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of semi-automatic firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Subsection B, a felony charging count 1 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, jury seat number 9, 4%.
All right.
Title of court and cause. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of the crime of firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Subsection B, a felony charging count 2 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, juror seat number 9, 4%.
During this trial, I watched you periodically. You did what we asked of you at the very beginning, which is to give both sides a fair.
Now, I do want to actually talk about the state's witness and the evidence that was presented by the state when it came to this case. Now, the biggest piece of evidence that they actually presented was the actual security footage. Now, we all saw Asaprocky actually holding a firearm, but did he actually pull the trigger? Now, the prosecution claimed yes, but there's one problem. Relli did his own investigation, brought his own sheriff, and you actually don't see the firearm being fired. Now, I don't agree with the defense's tactics saying that it was possibly or allegedly a prop gun. However, you gotta say, it did actually create doubt when it came to the jury. Now, the defense used that to actually create doubt, but they did focus too much on discrediting Relli instead of proving Rocky's innocent. This was a major turning point when it came to the case, the jury, and creating doubt. From there, we definitely got to spin around and look at Relli's testimony. Was it actual revenge or was it truth? Not just a best friend, but a childhood friend, 15 years, took the stand and swore that Rocky actually targeted him with this incident. But there were a lot of odd things that actually happened with the turn of event going through the testimony, like the AI situation, saying that it wasn't him, the deleted text messages, the fact that he did his own investigation and recovered the shell casing, the alleged number of shots that he says were fired versus the number of shell casings that he actually discovered. Not to mention his timing of the whole incident compared to the timing that he showed on the actual video surveillance. And even sadder with the whole situation, all of this actually started from an alleged speakerphone call that was actually overheard through mutual friends. So did Relli actually prove his truth, or was this just a messy personal dispute that turned into an actual legal battle? Let's not forget, the man's still asking for 30 M's for civil damages. And to dig even deeper, ask yourself this: did we actually see a physical bullet wound, a scratch, or was Relli actually telling the truth? Maybe it was an alleged grazer. Either way, the jury definitely didn't see it based off the evidence that was presented from the witness and by the state. Now, in my personal opinion, I do feel like Rocky not taking that plea deal was actually a stance that he took standing 10 toes down when it came to the state and his case. Now, we've seen so many different situations and circumstances where people are taking these plea deals, but for him to actually stand 10 toes down, granted, it was a lot being risked, but ask yourself this: if you're not guilty, would you have taken a plea deal just for the state to get a conviction to settle this case? Let that sink in. So here's the big question: should Relli actually be held accountable for his accusations from this trial? And better yet, would the state actually seek legal action against him for potentially lying under oath? This is crazy. Because ask yourself, if Relli was possibly lying the entire time, we know that the prosecution built their entire case and narrative strictly off of his actual alleged testimony. But ask yourself this: did he purposely mislead the actual jury? Did he mislead the courts, the prosecutor, the defense, asaprocky, the public, just in the event and the hopes of a possible come up? Or should or could the state actually charge him for perjury? Let's be real. How often is it that we see the accusers actually be held accountable when the cases don't go in the prosecution's favor? Is this just a judicial system at play? Or will they brush this under the rug, take it on the chin and say, hey, you win some, you lose some? Should Relli be held accountable? Now, we all sat and watched the same trial, the same situation, same case, heard the same story, same narrative. Were there more flaws that the defense poked in this story, or was it more flaws that the state exposed in this story? Let that sink in. Definitely talk about this civil suit. Now, even though asaprocky just beat this charge, beat all 3 charges, not 1 or 2, but 3, and walked away as a free man, let's not forget that A$AP Relli still has an actual civil suit against this man, still trying to allegedly sue him for damages. But if the state and the jury just said not guilty for the damages or you're not responsible, how can the civil suit actually still go forward? If the jury and the courts didn't find enough evidence to find him actually guilty, should the civil case actually go forward? Now, even more interesting when it comes to the actual system, the burden of proof in a civil case is way lower than it is in a criminal case. So they didn't prove the criminal case, but yet again, on the civil side, they don't have to prove as much. This is going to be an interesting situation. It's hard to say that it's over, but it's safe to say maybe it's close. I'm going to ask y'all a bigger question. Should people, should celebrities, anybody in general, if a criminal case is dismissed and over, should a person still be held liable for a civil case? Let that sink in. I ask it again. If a criminal case, the charges that were attached to an alleged criminal case are all dismissed, and the civil suit is based off of the damages from the actual criminal case, should the actual civil suit or civil case actually still be able to go forward? My personal opinion, that should be one and done. If one didn't make it, the other one shouldn't make it. There's no way possible that the judicial system with a higher burden of proof allows this to not go through, and then the judicial system on the other end, after the acquittal, the not guilty verdict, allows it to go through because it's civil and the burden of proof and standards are lower. Dirty game. But this is the system. Personal opinion, I feel like Rocky should turn around and do the exact same thing that Relli's doing to him. This man's name's been all across the headlines, social media, trending, slandered. Imagine the deals, the business opportunities, the proposition. Now, we heard Relli sit up and discuss all of his, that he was blackballed, he didn't get called, nobody's calling him for music, everybody blocked him, XYZ. Imagine the person that's going through that situation that's found not guilty. Look at the public humiliation, the public display, that you just drugged this man, his family, his wife, the time, the attorneys, the defense, the courts, the prosecution. Everybody just got drugged through this to get a not guilty verdict. At the end of the day, if Rock is not responsible for it, nobody in here is responsible for it, who's accountable for the actions of the false suit? Let's dig. Now, I watched the entire trial, and I watched the comments, read a lot of comments, and ironically, it was a lot of people that actually believed that Rocky was responsible. In my personal opinion, I'm not going to say that he wasn't responsible, but I can't say that he is. Because again, Relli's still here. We didn't see the damages. We heard a lot of conflicting stories. Whether he exaggerated or made it up to try to get the claim to go further with the civil situation and suit, either way it goes, he was actually judged by 12 instead of carried by 6. So in my personal opinion, I feel like that actually worked in his favor. Now, should his actual civil suit still go forward, or should Rocky actually go after relli for the actual damages, the slander, the defamation, the time? Like, time is money, especially when you're in this world. Is it safe to say that relli's musical career, his producing career, is officially over? Because one thing that's not over is Rocky's situation. Man, y'all jump in the comments, y'all let me know y'all's thoughts. Did the jury actually get it right? Or did Rocky's fame plus his wife actually play a major part in the jury's decision? Should relli actually be held accountable? Should the state and the prosecution actually push for perjury charges, being that he allegedly lied on stand and it was proven? Was it proven? Did the prosecution prove that case? A prop gun. Where I'm from, play with a cap gun, a prop gun, any type of fake firearm, a firearm in any type of situation is definitely not going to end well. There's several situations, circumstances. It doesn't end well. But here you go. Friendship, 15 years, gone over allegations, speculations, he say, she say, leaked phone conversations. With friends like this, why would you need enemies? This case again should go to show the life you save could be your very own. Till next time, y'all remember, stay safe, stay vigilant, stay dangerous. And as always, I'm your host, Jay. Gone.